Happy Take Two Day, everybody. And welcome to our kitchen. I'm the Penguin.
I'm the chef.
And let me explain to you why we're saying it's Take Two Day. Because, you know, everything that me and the chef film is on our phone. Now, a lot of the things we have backed up in our computer, but the most recent stuff, So, the other night, I was like, I was thinking about doing another video, and I said, well, every once in a while we'll get a warning up saying that we don't have enough memory, so we have to delete some stuff. I had made a zucchini bread recipe video.
Your mom's zucchini bread.
Yeah, my mom a zucchini bread recipe video. Complete from start to finish, taste test included. And guess what I did? Can you guess what I did?
She deleted it.
I deleted it.
Wah, wah, wah,
Wah, wah, wah. Not only did I delete it, but I did a permanent delete. It was only after the fact that I realized I had deleted the majority, which I hadn't edited the video and put it all together yet. I deleted everything that was important except for the taste test. I still had the intro and I still had the end part where I took them out of the oven and Chef did the taste test. So, we went to the doctor yesterday and talking to the doctor and everything and told him what a faux pas I had done. And he was talking to, zucchini bread, yum, zucchini bread. And I said, do you want some zucchini bread? He said, I would love some zucchini bread. So we're going to take him a little thing of goodies.
So now like old Doc Baker on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Old Doc Baker, you remember him on Little House on the Prairie? We're going to take our doctor some bread, and I told him about my tomatoes and peppers, and I'm taking some of those too. So we're doing some swapping for medical treatment.
Country barter,
yeah,
is that what they call it?
I wish we could do that with him.
How old Doc Baker took chickens and fruits and veggies or whatever.
Our doctor's just a really nice guy. He's got a family, and he works really hard. I mean, he really does. We know what he goes through. So, in appreciation, we're going to take him some tomatoes, some peppers, and some fresh zucchini.
Anyway, enough of that stuff.
She's over there showing you how to make her mom's zucchini bread. I'm over here making us dinner, so you hear noise, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Chef's working in the background. He's going to make us some smoked sausage spaghetti, right?
Yeah, well, it's jalapeno and pepper jack sausage.
Smoked sausage with sweet red peppers and
bell pepper out of the garden and onion.
That's what's for dinner at our house tonight. Anyway, so it's a good thing that I have more than one zucchini. As I was saying, this zucchini is huge. I already peeled one, which I have half of it in the refrigerator because that is the one that I used in the last video. But because I'm going to need more zucchini, because we're also going to make my brother and sister-in-law want some zucchini bread. And we're taking a big loaf to the doctor for him and his family. And I have some mini loaf pans that I'm going to make a few up to take to some of the office staff.
And we only have one little piece of our loaf left.
Yeah.
Our 2 loaves.
Yeah, we made 2 loaves the other night, and there's only a little bit of that left. So I'm going to show you guys how I've always done my zucchini bread. Everybody in my family always requests my zucchini bread every year. And mine may be a little bit different, but it's not. And you guys can make it any way you want to. And we'll talk about that. But the one thing that I don't, there's 2 things that I don't do. One is I don't grind the green. I don't grind the green in my zucchini bread. I don't like, some people like those flecks of green in there. I don't mind the flecks of green, but I don't care for the taste and getting a piece stuck in your teeth and all that. It really doesn't affect the flavor. Another thing that I don't do that a lot of people do is I don't drain the zucchini of all of its water, because that is a lot of your flavor. And I don't want a dry zucchini bread. That's what we've always done. So anyway, let's just get busy and let's just get to it and show you how I do this zucchini bread. And I used this the last time too, and I'm going to say it again and you guys will see. This is the potato peeler that Darlene McPhate sent to us a while back. This is the best potato peeler that we have ever had. And you'll see that it will go through this zucchini like butter.
We threw the other one we had away.
We immediately threw it away. Anyway, so let me turn you guys down just a little bit. And we'll just chit chat while we're doing this. Anyway, we'll talk about the ingredients as we go along too. Pretty basic ingredients. But I'm just gonna cut the ends. I just cut the very ends off of my zucchini. Chef got these for $1 at a yard sale. Normally my brother always grows zucchini every year, and that's where I get my zucchini to make the zucchini bread, but he's the one that had a medical issue earlier on in the year, so he wasn't able to get his garden out like he has in the past. So we had to go to buying zucchini this time.
Yeah, luckily I found those at a yard sale.
Yeah, $1. Huge. I mean, she had very small ones too. She wanted $1 for them regardless of what size they were. So of course we got the big boys. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to peel this. I don't know if I'm going to keep you guys on the whole time. I might keep you guys on and I'll just speed it up. But this thing right here is the best peeler that I've ever had. And I absolutely love, love, love it. Let me get my peeling mess cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, got my peeling thrown away, and I just wanted to show you guys, this is my recipe, and as with most recipes, it's been around the block quite a few times. They really show. So, okay, now that we've got this peeled, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in half because it's kind of big to handle, and then I'm going to cut it in half again. Because another thing that I do that a lot of people don't do is I always take the center out. You guys can see that. Some people just grate the whole thing. Whether it's a big zucchini or a small zucchini, they'll just grate the whole thing. And I don't like to do that. I like to take the seeds and stuff out. It's not hard to remove. I just take a big spoon and go down and pull it out just like that. Just like if you're doing a cantaloupe or something like that. Just take the seeds and stringy stuff out of the center. And yeah, it looks like you're not left with a whole lot of zucchini when you're done, but once you get to grating it up, you get quite a bit of zucchini. I know it's smelling good in here from Chef cooking. If you guys lived closer, we'd invite some of y'all for dinner. I would say everybody, but our house isn't big enough to accommodate everybody.
But I can cook for that many people.
Yes, he can cook for that many people. He's used to cooking for a large mass amount of people, but you guys already know that. So, all right. Go ahead and de-seed this one too while I'm at it. Leaning tower of zucchini. That's what I have. A leaning tower of zucchini that's about to fall over. Yes, it is. It's going to fall over. Okay. Let me get all my seed mess cleaned up. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now I'm just going to make myself a little room here because I need to start grating. Yes, I do. Okay. Now again, like I said, I don't take the water out. A lot of people, they will squeeze the water out of the zucchini, but it's not necessary. It's really not. Just an extra step that you don't have to do. It actually, leaving it in makes your zucchini bread moist, and to me gives it more flavor. If you have a food processor, you can use a food processor to do this, but I'm using my old box grater, and I use the coarse grating right here, the biggest side. And I was going to tell you guys something else too, and I can't remember. Anyway, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Like I said, I've got several pans here that I personally am going to be using. I have my big boy, my big Wilton's. This is a big loaf pan. This is going to be for the one that I'm making for the doctor. I have a couple of standard loaf pans here that I'm going to be using. And the mini loaf pans that you guys have already seen. So right now I'm just going to double the recipe and go with it from there. And then I'll end up making more off the video. But I will put my recipe in the description box below. I will put the recipe in for a 2 loaf recipe as opposed to what I'm doing here, because again, I'm going to double everything.
Yeah, because you're at least going to want to make 2 loaves, because if you have any friends or neighbors or family, they're going to want a loaf, even if you only want one.
Yeah, and be prepared, because when you make it for them the first time, they're going to want it more. So, again, you can use a food processor if you have one. I do have one. I'm just not going to foo-foo with it. I'm just going to grate this by hand. As with every video, when it comes to a part like this, I can just speed you guys up. Sometimes people like to add different things in their zucchini bread. They like to add chocolate chips. Me and the chef, we don't like zucchini bread with chocolate chips in it. Some people do, we don't. Some people like to add nuts to it. Whenever you're using a box grater, always watch your fingers.
She says the same thing about me. If you're making food in front of me, watch your fingers.
You don't steal everybody's food.
No, but I know a story of a guy who got forked in the hand once.
Huh?
I know the story, a true story of a guy that got forked in the hand.
He got forked in the hand?
Yeah. His name was John. I'm not going to give his last name. He used to be the Wonder Bread man who would come and deliver to my mom and dad's restaurant. John was about 6'3" and about 300 pounds.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Big guy. And he was showing me one day a scar he had on the back of his hand. He said he got that for reaching for the last piece of fried chicken. I'm like, what? He says he had 3 older brothers, and they were all bigger than him. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There's 3 guys bigger than you and your family. He goes, yeah, I'm the baby. He said, my mom and dad weren't very big people, but for some reason, we all turned out huge. And he said, me being the youngest when I was about 12 or 13, and my mama cooked like 4 whole fried chickens for Sunday dinner, and we were sitting around eating, and I went to reach for that last wing or leg that was out there, and his older brother, who was like 5 years older than him or 6 years older, forked him right in the back of the hand, and it stuck.
Ouch.
So, you know how people tell stories, you know, blah, 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 blah. About a year goes by, and I go to a car show, and here John comes walking up to me. Hey, how you doing, John? Stuff like that. He goes, come over here. I want you to meet my brother. And I can't remember his brother's name was Bill or something. Bill was the oldest. And here's this guy that's about 6'6" and about 350 pounds.
Oh, my Lord.
He's driving
Green giant.
Yeah, he's driving an Australian Ute. That's a Australian utility truck, bright orange, that he bought and had fixed up. Nice vehicle. But I said,
Aren't they little?
No, they're pretty good sized old trucks. It was like from the 50s or 60s, an older truck. But I started talking to his brother, and I think his name was Bill, and he said, yeah. He said, I forked him in the hand. He said, I wanted that last piece of fried chicken, and he knew it, and he was reaching out trying to get it, trying to grab it. And he told me they have 2 other brothers that's in between the 2 of them in size. I'm like, my Lord. I'd hate to have his little mom and dad, like normal-sized people, trying to feed these 4 gargantuans. I hope they lived on a farm or something like that, because that's about the only way you keep all them people fed.
Well, my mom and dad had 4 to feed too, but they weren't that big.
Yeah, not that big.
No. My tallest brother is like 6 foot tall. So, 6 foot tall and split an image of my dad. So, okay. I think that's about, I may need more than that, but I'm going to stop grating for just a few minutes. And okay, I've got quite a bit of zucchini grated, and I know I'm going to need to grate some more, but I'm going to go ahead and work on my batter for it. So I've got my bowl here, and as soon as I can find my recipe, I pretty much remember it, but I always have to reference it again. Okay, I'm gonna do my wet ingredients first, and then I don't do them in 2 separate bowls though, because that's just a lot of unnecessary foo-foo. So I'm gonna, for a normal recipe you would use 3 eggs, but because I'm doubling this, I'm gonna go ahead and be using 6 eggs. We still have a full 18 count in there. We got plenty of eggs. Plus I stuck some in the door, so we're good. We have plenty of eggs. I try to save my cartons for my sister-in-law because she's got chickens. So that way she can, when the chickens have eggs, she can put them in there. Now to my eggs, I'm gonna add 1 3/4 cups of sugar. So actually I'm not. I'm going to be adding 3.5 cups of sugar.
Of pure cane sugar?
Yes. I ran out of granulated sugar, but we did have a full bag of the pure cane sugar. Doesn't matter. Both the same. Actually, you know, pure cane sugar is a little better for you than just regular granulated sugar, but when you're baking and stuff, it really doesn't matter. You can use either one. You're still going to have the same results. So there's 1. Sorry about my arm being in the way again, guys. 2. 3. Just shy of 3. And just a little over 1/2. So that takes care of our sugar. Again, it's a lot of sugar, but we're going to be making a lot of zucchini bread. All right. So I also am going to be doing 2 cups of oil. I think you guys can see everything okay. Chef already poured me 1 cup in here, so there's 1 cup. I hope I got a big enough bowl. I may have to get a bigger bowl. We're just using canola oil right here. I'm gonna pour me another cup.
Yeah, we have EVOO, but we buy it in smaller bottles to cook with in the skillets and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
The canola works just as well in recipes and stuff like that. So.
Except for when we deep fry a lot of stuff, we'll use peanut oil
Yeah,
then.
peanut. We get peanut oil for that.
So we have a lot of various oils around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about any other stores where people at, but you can buy the smaller bottles of peanut oil at Myers for $4 and something. Like the big jugs are like $12. So.
That is oil cup number 2. Grab it. You'll get your hands all oily. All right. Get the cap on this and get it set back out of the way. All right. Now I am going to add my vanilla in. I might have to be buying some more of this. I've been making me a list as I'm going along for my fall baking.
And checking it twice?
And checking it twice and thrice.
Seeing who is naughty and nice.
Checking it twice and thrice. I'm going to be using 4 teaspoons of vanilla.
Should I tell them the story about yesterday and being in Myers, or is it one of the things you had to be there to make it funny?
Well, I don't know. They might be able to get a visual of it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've been buying these trees that are called green giant arborvitae, and
I'm going to go ahead and mix this up.
mine are different sizes because I've been getting them on markdowns from places. Go ahead, I'll let you do that.
Okay, you just want to get your sugar, your eggs, and your oil and your vanilla well blended together. Okay, go ahead, baby.
So anyway, I've been buying these trees, and I needed one more tree, and when we were shopping at Myers and stuff after we left the doctor yesterday, they had a few outside left. They were, what was it, 30% off or something that said?
Uh-huh.
So I bought one. Of course, we picked the biggest, prettiest one. It was about 5 foot tall. And she goes, well, just leave it until we'll get ready to go. And I said, no, I don't want someone else to grab my tree. So I put it in the cart, and I carried it around the store, which was kind of blocking my eyesight. I was having trouble steering the
I
cart.
said it's too big. You can't. It's like walking through the forest.
So we're over in the meat department, and there's a man and a woman, about our age, maybe a little bit older. And the guy walks up to me and goes, hey, remember, I got a mask on my face, a white mask on my face. He goes, it's the wrong time of year for that, ain't it? Or, no, he said, it's a little soon for that, ain't it? And he's pointing at the tree. And I go, no, ho, ho, ho. So then him and his wife start laughing. And I grabbed my mask and pulled out, and I said, better get COVID over pretty soon. It's about time for me to start regrowing my beard. Then he really started laughing.
Because they thought it was a Christmas tree.
Yeah. It was just a very well-shaped tree.
Yeah, it was very full. So it was funny. You would have had to have been there for sure.
It was funny. Other people were pointing at the tree too, so I didn't know if they heard what was said, but
It was funny. Anyway, we were all basically leaving at the same time too, and they were kind of like pointing and waving at us as he was loading it in the back of the truck. Okay, so we've got our eggs, our sugar, our oil, and our vanilla in here. So now we want to do our flour. And I'm really going to hope that I'm going to be able to get all of this in here, because I'm beginning to wonder.
Well, just go and get your bigger bowl and I'll help you transfer it.
I don't really have a much bigger bowl than this.
I thought you had one more of those Pioneer ones that was bigger than that.
Yeah, maybe. I think it might be one bigger, but that's all right. Let's just go with it.
Yeah, we got rid of all our old big plastic bowls.
Yes, I did. All right. I'm going to need 4 cups of flour in here. It just looks more intimidating than it is, but it'll mix up. 3. This is just all-purpose flour. 4. Okay, I'm going to set that back here. One thing I need to get is some baking powder, because I am really, really low on my baking powder. Okay, so I'm going to need 4 teaspoons of baking soda. Let me get that in here. 1. 2. A little over. 3.
We haven't even made it past Halloween yet.
4. Huh?
I said we haven't even made it past Halloween and fall yet.
Oh, for it to be Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Everybody's getting their fall stuff out now, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, we went to Menards yesterday and they had some of their Halloween stuff out. Not all of it, but some.
Early mums. Myers had early mums out too.
Yeah. All right. And I would normally use a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. But I'm going to be using a whole 1/2 teaspoon, because again, I'm doubling it. And that was just a little shy, so I need to add a little bit more. Little bit more. All right. And cinnamon. You got to have cinnamon when you do your zucchini bread. Yes, you do. So I'm going to be doing...
Not zucchini bread, it's zucchini bread.
Yeah, our Shih Tzu that passed away in 2019, he used to love zucchini bread. And he was smart. He knew what they looked like, and he knew if I was making it. And when it was done, I'd say, ask him if he wanted some zucchini. That's what we used to call it, zucchini bread. I wouldn't give him very much, just a couple little bites, but he loved it. Okay.
What he do is he sniffs it and he licks it, but he won't take it.
No.
But
I think he likes the smell, but he won't taste it.
I have figured out that something that when I have it, who's gotta have a couple nibbles, and that's the
the Campbell's SpaghettiOs with Frank's.
Yeah, with Frank's.
Yeah.
He loves it. He does not only the Frankie pieces, little hot doggy looking pieces, but he likes the spaghetti rings.
Sandy likes them. Rocky likes them.
I don't give him very much, mind you, but
Pet doesn't like them. He probably would if you'd try him, but he's such a scaredy cat. Okay, and last but not least on this, I need 2 teaspoons of salt. And yes, I actually found my little Morton Girl salt thing instead of having to take it out of my salt shaker all the time. It was down in my spice cabinet. I just had to get down there and get it. Okay. That one was just a little shy, so I'm going to add just a touch more. Alright. 2 teaspoons of salt. Alright, now it's time to give this a mix. So, you know me and the flour splatter that I'm so infamous for doing. So I'm just going to take my beaters and kind of incorporate this into here a little bit before I actually start mixing it, because I don't want a flour bath. No, I do not. Okay. For the sake of not making any more of a mess, I'm going to shut it off now, because I know I flung some zucchini batter somewhere. Oh, it's over on the oil can. So I'm going to have to clean that up. Alright, so here's our humongous bowl of batter now. Let me see if I can find my spatula thing here. Go ahead and get this scraped down. It smells so good. I mean, I can smell this. If you guys could be in our kitchen right now, it's a mixture of smells, because you can smell this, the cinnamon, and Chef's got the sausage going, and the onions and peppers.
Sweet peppers, bell peppers, onion, few cherry tomatoes.
You guys can see how smooth that batter is. That is just silky smooth batter right there. So good. Okay, now what we want to add to this, and I'm just going to be stirring it by hand now, is I want to put in 4 packed cups. Trying to see, what you guys read and see. I want to do 4 packed cups of zucchini. So I've got my 2-cup measuring cup here, and yes, I'm going to have to grate some more. But that's okay, it won't take long. And you can freeze zucchini also, but I will say, if you freeze zucchini, when you thaw it out, you will, at that point, you're going to have to extract the liquid from it. Either in some, if you've got some cheesecloth, you can put your zucchini in some cheesecloth, or a very clean dish towel, or double layer of very sturdy paper towels. So I'm going to go ahead and get this dumped in there. Make sure we don't get an overflow. Get this mixed in a little bit. Make sure we're going to have enough room. And we will. I'm going to be able to do that other 2 cups of zucchini. So you guys bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up, and I'm going to go ahead and grate my other 2 cups. You guys don't have to see me do that. And as soon as I get that done, then I'll be back. Guys, I'm sitting behind the scenes over here, and I just finished doing my other 2 cups of zucchini. Let's see if I can get the rest of this out of here, and then I'm going to take a break and wash my hands real quick and kind of clean up my work surface a little bit. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm just stirring this up now. And yes, the bowl is just going to accommodate it all. Once I get it mixed up by hand a little bit, I'm going to run the beater through it for just a minute. Make sure everything's good and incorporated. This is some delicious, delicious zucchini bread. And it's got tons of zucchini in it. This would be the time now if you wanted to add some walnuts. Add walnuts. I always recommend lightly toasting the walnuts first. To me, it just brings out any nut that you choose.
Well, just remember, 2 days ago she made 2 loaves, and there's a piece for like 1 person left, and that's it.
And I only used half of that zucchini. So I still have the other half over here, plus I have what I peeled the other night. Okay, we're back. Now I'm going to prepare the pans. I'm going to go ahead and do the one for the doctor first. Get that out of the way. So I'll see how much batter I have left. I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably going to have to make more. I'm lightly spraying this, and then I'm going to take some flour and put a little flour in here. And just going to go ahead and shake it all around. You guys know all about flouring a pan. Okay, so I got the little excess that was left in there out too. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got my big soup ladle right here, and I'm just gonna give it one last final stir around. And I'm gonna start filling this up. I always like to get my pans at least halfway full, halfway to 3/4. But usually halfway is enough because it is going to rise. And I'll get my pan cleaned afterwards. I always like to clean up the drippings before it goes in the oven because I don't want it to start burning on the edges or anything. And what I'm going to do is I always, no, you guys can't see me. I always take my pan, if you guys can see, right here. I'm trying to get my hand there. Right there. Whoop, right there. Taking my pan and tapping it. I like to tap it a few times just to get the air and bring the air to the top. I'm going to go ahead and get this one in the oven by itself because it's bigger. Usually I let it cook anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour, or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Normally it takes about 55 minutes, but with this stove that we have now, it took about 45 minutes the last time.
Yeah, make sure you check your
Yeah, so make sure you check it. Always set the timer a little early. Yeah. And start checking a little early. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to set the timer for 45 minutes. And I'll check at that point. Then I'll be right back and we'll get the other pans ready. Okay guys, got that one in the oven. So now I'm going to go ahead and prep pan number 2. Okay, make sure I ain't got no drippings down the side. I'm gonna tap, 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 get the air out. And I'm gonna go get this one over in the oven. Okay guys, got the second loaf in there. That's all I'm gonna put in for now because I don't want to overcrowd the oven. Because it's like anything else, you overcrowd it, it's gonna affect your baking. So I'm gonna let those 2 go first, and then when they get done and I bring those out, then I'll go ahead and put in the 3rd loaf and then the minis with the batter that I have left over here. The chef said we need to do a live soon. Didn't you, chef? Isn't that what you said the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with the weekend coming, we might try, just try to do a live over the weekend. I have another recipe that I'm going to make for you. It's a quick, simple recipe that I'm going to try to do for you guys tomorrow. Try.
And everybody needs to tell Penguin that they want to see her new bowl we got yesterday and plate that we found.
Oh, on clearance.
On clearance, because they are the coolest little things I ever seen. Great for picnics and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're great for picnics. I'll show that to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, you guys will get a hoot out of that.
Or I'll show it to you when we do the live, because we're probably going to play a couple of games when we do. We'll try to do that over the weekend, and then I think next week, well, I have one more video that I need to do for sure for you guys before I start on the subscriber requested videos from Mama Dee Dee and Sarah Jane. That's going to take more than one day to do those, but
we still got to do our pie.
That's what I'm getting ready to talk about. We have a special pie that we're going to make.
Summertime pie.
Yeah. Before summer ends and before Labor Day gets here, because to me Labor Day is a signal of the end of summer. I want to get this pie recipe out to you guys in case anybody wants to make it. It's a little bit more time consuming, but it's very well worth it.
Yeah.
So I'll try to get that done sometime over the next few days. And then, like I said, I've got a dinner recipe that I'm going to do tomorrow for you guys. It's something quick and simple that a lot of you might be familiar with. Most of you are familiar with. In one fashion or the other. I'll put it that way. So anyway, guys, I've rambled enough. I'm going to go ahead and just pause this. Me and the chef are going to be getting ready to eat here soon because dinner is smelling amazing. He's making some garlic bread right now.
With some bruschetta I made.
Yeah, he made some bruschetta mix. So we're going to be eating dinner soon.
We have. You can put that link into how to make that bruschetta too, because I made that before.
I will put the link in the description box for his bruschetta, however people pronounce it.
I made it all with stuff out of the garden.
I'm also going to be putting Darlene's link in the description box. Anyway, and also, if you guys have not seen the banana bread brownies that I made a while back, that's something that's a really big hit right now too. It's one of those things going into fall when people are wanting to bake. It's another thing that's good to bake in the fall. It's one of those comforting type desserts that just about everybody's going to love. So I'll drop a link for that in the description box as well. But as soon as this bread gets done, guys, we'll be back. In the meantime, we're going to go chow chow. See you in a bit. Hey guys, if you see this is what's for dinner. Put some of Chef's bruschetta mix on the garlic bread. And I know it's covered with my Parmesan cheese, but this is chunky pasta sauce that he made. You can see some sweet pepper right there and some bell pepper right there out of the garden, some onion.
Some of it's real onion, some of it's green onion out of the garden.
Some green onion out of the garden, some sweet onion, some sweet bell peppers.
I diced up a few cherry tomatoes too.
Yum, yum, yum. So while we're waiting on our zucchini bread to get done, we're going to eat. We'll be back. Okay, there's the first two loaves out of the oven. This is the one that's it's a normal size loaf pan. And that one's the one that's going to the doctor. It's in the huge loaf pan. And I wanted to say something too. A lot of times people have problems when they make zucchini bread because once they take it out of the oven, even though it's testing that it's done with a toothpick, when they take it out of the oven, it sinks in the center. So they end up with a rectangular loaf instead of a risen loaf like it's supposed to be. So if you follow this recipe, I guarantee you that's not going to happen to you, and you're going to have a regular, as it's supposed to be, risen loaf of zucchini bread. So I'm just going to let this sit for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get the other two in the oven. As you can see, my hands are clean. It looks like it's wet right there, but it's not. That's just where the sugar kind of caramelizes on the top. Oh, and also, because they are so tall, obviously you can't toothpick test them. So this is when I bring in a big skewer. I bring in a big wooden skewer, and I use these two, obviously, because they're a lot deeper than the pan. I use these to test them with. Guys, I just thought I'd bring you back for a second to show you how easy it is to invert the bread. This is the big tall bread that's going to the doctor. Right there. I just inverted that, and the chef's like, aren't you going to show them? And I'm like, oh, I thought about it, but anyway, all I did, still warm. It's been out of the oven about 10, what'd you say, about 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So I just took a knife. It was already came away from the pan because I greased it and lightly floured it, but I just went around with a knife just to make sure, and it's fine. So they come out very easy. Well, I say that, but you just got to give it a minute. And there you go. One loaf of zucchini bread. And I'm just gonna, it's still very, very warm. So I'm just flipping it over to my cutting board right here. You can see how this is a standard loaf. And this is the loaf that I made for the doctor. So you can see that he's got a family to feed. So anyway, that's the pan. This pan is pretty old, so I'm gonna let it get by with just a little bit of stickage, but it didn't break any of the cake away. And then this is the big one, no stick at all. So I may not have got enough flour on that one, but it looked all right. Anyway, it's fine, it's perfect. These are still hot. Hang on a second. And there's my two little minis right here. Just the little itty bitties. This is just for each one of his little office staff. So I don't have enough zucchini to make big ones for everybody. So anyway, we're gonna take them, each one of these. They can have it as a snack or lunch or take it home or whatever. And we have the last one. I took the last bit of batter and put it in the last loaf pan. Got it to just about half before we ran out. So this recipe, and it was that one big zucchini, and I only used half of it, and you would get a good 4 regular size loaves of zucchini bread out of it. Okay guys, I just inverted the bread out of the pans, and I got a little bit more batter in one than I did the other, but that's okay. We're just letting them cool down so that we can cut into them and give them a taste. We'll be back. Okay, everybody, and we're back, and it's time for Chef to taste the zucchini bread.
Yeah, me and Pooh's gonna give it a try.
Yeah, him and Pooh's gonna give it a try. So I'll put the camera up at him in just a couple of minutes. But
not the first time for me having it, but first time Pooh is smelling it.
Do you want the middle or the end?
It don't matter. It's all good.
Okay, we're just gonna, I know I should have a serrated knife, but I didn't grab a serrated knife.
I'm the one that set that knife out.
Yeah, it's all right. It cuts just fine. I wanted to show it shiny. It looks like it's wet on the top, but it's not. See? That's just where it's caramelized. It's nice. It's got a nice little crusty top to it. Do you want a thick piece or a thin piece?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
A thick piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a bite of it without anything on it, and then my favorite. I like putting apple butter.
Okay. Here you go. Oh, did I get it cut all the way through? I don't know. Okay. Ooh, it's still hot. Ooh, it's still hot.
Still hot.
You guys can see that it's got a lot of zucchini in it. It just doesn't have the green flecks because, like I said, I don't like the green flecks in my zucchini bread.
It smells really good.
And I wanted to let you guys know, too, when you're all done beating it and you add your zucchini and stuff in, if you want chocolate chips and nuts, that's the point when you want to put it in.
Good. You want to pan it? Show me.
In this new stove that we have, which is not really new anymore, but it took 45 minutes in the oven, and our other one would take about 55 minutes to an hour to cook. So, yeah. Let's see if I can move the camera up. So, Food has a ringside seat.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Food a little nibble. I tore off. Like I said, we've only lived here 3 years, and we really haven't did a whole lot of stuff like we did at the other house. So
butter's melting on it. It's still warm enough to melt the butter. And like I said, this is really good.
That's zucchini bread.
You want a piece of zucchini bread?
Brother, he didn't know loved it. Yeah, he likes it. I see him licking his
He
lips.
smelled it long enough.
Yeah, I see him licking his lips. You want it? Sometimes food's hard about taking stuff.
He has to take it when he's ready.
Yeah. Even sausages and stuff, right? I got some chicken sausages that are supposed to be good for dogs. And, I mean, they're people sausages, but they're supposed to be good for dogs, I think.
Yeah.
And everybody else loves them right off the bat. But not food. Food eats them when he wants to. You put them in his bowl and they might lay there an hour. Then you come back and they're gone.
Anyway, if you take a piece of this and you just lightly toast it, you don't have to toast it actually, but I mean, we usually toast it just lightly.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then we'll dip it in our egg batter and make our French toast with it. I mean, zucchini bread French toast is like super good. And this, you can see how soft and flexible this is. And it's just the perfect consistency. Just so, so good. Bite, guys. Bite, 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 bite. See, chefs, he's got it all doctored up with
Nothing better than zucchini bread.
butter and apple, was it apple jelly?
Apple
butter.
Nothing better than zucchini bread with apple butter on it.
I like it just like this.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't have to have anything on mine at all. It's got just the right amount of sweetness.
I love apple butter. So on regular bread, but it's just so much better when it's on zucchini bread.
The outside pieces right here, if you can see it shining, that's where the sugar kind of crystallizes on the outside. It gives the outside crust just a nice little, I wouldn't want to say crunch necessarily, but
No?
just a little better texture. So super good, guys. Chef's like, are you sure you want to make zucchini bread this late? I'm glad I did.
Yeah. It's 3 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah, but we've been doing other stuff too. So, I'll probably end up making more tomorrow off of camera. I've got enough. I can make probably 8 more loaves.
Yeah. I was going to say 7, but...
The other zucchini is huge.
Or this one left.
Anyway, guys, just wanted to share with you, take a little taste test.
You know better.
And hopefully you guys will give the recipe a try. As always, I will leave our recipe in the description box below. This is a very, very old recipe. And give it a try yourselves. And if you guys like any of our content, please like, share, and subscribe.
And trust me, try it with apple butter. You'll love it.
Yeah, if you like apple butter, give it a try with apple butter. But Chef said we'll probably be going on and doing a live soon. We might play a few games or have a giveaway.
That's what I said makes a difference.
Of course what you say makes a difference. Always. Anyway, like I said, we'll probably do a live. We might play some games, do some giveaways. But stay tuned for that. Anyway, we're going to go, guys. Like Chef said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and we've got to get ready to turn in.
Yeah.
So we hope everybody has a good night. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.
See you later, guys.
Bye, guys. Say bye, Poon. Say bye, Poon. Bye, guys.